Good morning, Wisco family. There's a phrase that's become a part of the vernacular, our language here in the past few years. She persisted. It's a phrase that activist groups of all sorts have used, and it represents the idea that they're going to push and push and push and ask and ask and ask until they get answers to their questions, to whatever their cause is. And it's relatively recent to our language, but it's an idea that has been carried around thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of times by people in history. In fact, we're going to look today at an account from 2 Kings of a woman who persisted. This is a mother who had a sick child and did what mothers do when you have a sick child. She held the child in her arms. And unfortunately, that child died. And she laid the child down in a bed, a spare bed that she had built for the prophet Elisha, because when he was in town, she wanted him to have a place to sleep. So she laid him on this bed, and she went to her husband and said, "Go find Elisha." And he basically said, "Why? What's the point?" But that wasn't a good enough answer for him. So she got on a donkey. She went to find Elisha, and she wouldn't leave Elisha's side until he agreed to come to her house. There's a lesson for us in this. There's a couple of lessons. First of all, God wants us to come to him in prayer, and he wants us to come persistently. He wants us to come often. In these difficult times, we have more reasons we may think than usual, but there's always reasons to go to God in prayer. And God wants us to know that he will always hear us and he will always answer us. It may not be the answers that we hope for, but he wants us to come to him in prayer until he answers. In this case, he also showed us that he has power over everything. The child had laid dead in the bed, and Elisha first sent his servant, and the servant came back and said, "There's nothing I can do." And Elisha went in and, through the Lord, raised that child back to health and gave the child to his mother. God has power over everything. He has power over all the viruses in the world. He has power over all the evil, all the hate, all the things the devil can throw at us. Remember that as we go to him confidently and persistently with our prayers, that we are heard, and that no matter what happens in this world, God has power over it all. God will remain true and strong and faithful over all. Find comfort in that. Have a blessed weekend.